A rash of car break-ins and thefts has some people furious.
Car thefts are a big problem in Pinellas County.
Our Rich McHugh shows us how car thefts are increasing.
Automotive theft. Yeah, we've talked about it on this channel before, but it isn't getting any better. And today we're actually presented with some new methods to protect your asset. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, so we made a video about this not too long ago, talking about how to protect your car from automotive theft, because it is a real concern. People are stealing Corvettes, they're stealing Ram TRXs, they're stealing all kinds of cars out there. How do you protect these babies? Well, in the previous video, if you guys haven't seen that, we talked about a couple different methods, one of them being AirTags. This new C8 Z06 of mine has 3 AirTags located inside of it, and I've removed the speaker from all 3 of them, so there's no way that anybody would know or hear anything from them. So yeah, they might get notified that it's following them, but honestly, I've seen a couple times where somebody will be notified of that, and instead of messing with it, they just ditch the vehicle, which honestly is a win for the person who had it stolen. We have the RFID blocking pouch from Hyperion that you can put your key in so they can't copy the actual code from your key. We have the ability to actually install remote shut-off relays in the actual fuse box of the car to make sure that you can remotely turn off the relay for the starter of the car. We have the ability with the solar performance throttle controller to actually disable the gas pedal on these cars. So we have a couple options right off the bat, but these are good options, don't get me wrong, but they're somewhat easily defeatable and they're somewhat of a pain in the butt. So enter in what we're going to be talking about today, and that is the CarLock. Yeah, let's talk all about this, guys, because this thing is going to make it a lot easier for you to protect your cars. Whether it's the Corvette, the C7 Corvette, the Ram TRX you guys could see sitting out there, it doesn't matter. We all need a little extra protection from thieves nowadays. Let's talk about this. All right, so this is a relatively small package. As you can see here, the main star of the show is actually an OBD2 port device. And what it's going to do is actually plug into the OBD2 port, and it's going to do all kinds of things as far as tracking your car, sending you updates, sending you notifications on your actual phone. And one of the questions that's going to come up right off the bat is, Justin, what happens if they just remove this? Well, that is a realistic possibility, but this actually comes with an extension cable, so you can actually plug in one end to your OBD2 port and then route this somewhere that's not visible to make sure that they don't find it, at least not initially. And as long as it's in there to begin with, you'll be notified if something happens with your car and you can react immediately. Right on the back, it actually shows a couple tidbits that are really interesting here. So work and sleep without worry. Obviously, it says CarLock monitors your vehicle and alerts your phone when the vehicle is moved, when the engine starts, or if there's any unusual vibration detected, even if the device is disconnected. So there is a little bit of a battery on this. It says monitor your teenager. Of course, if you have kids, you can also monitor what they're doing, where they've been, all that stuff. Virtual mechanic. It will also monitor the health of your vehicle and alert you in advance if your car battery is running dangerously low or experiencing high battery drain. The bottom part is where things get interesting. It's like GPS on steroids. Also included is a detailed trip tracking, which lets you know where your car has been and whether it's been stolen or a trusted driver is going off course. You'll know. So you can kind of use this to monitor your kids too, assuming you let them drive your Z06. So let's go ahead and get this plugged into the car, get this thing activated, and start talking about what makes this different. So after reading through some of the instructions here, it actually suggests to go ahead on your phone and download the app first. And once that's done downloading, we're going to use this activation code on the back of that card to put in here. That way we are ready to go with all of the information. We're going to allow it to send notifications because obviously it's going to tell us when something is happening, but we'll go ahead and skip the demo for now. Now it says tap here to log in or activate the CarLock device. That's what we're going to do. So after activating everything, we are going to go ahead and plug this device in. Now, as you can see here, this is the extension cable I was talking about. I'm not going to show you exactly where I'm putting it, but all you have to do is plug this into the OBD2 port. So for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to install this yet. I'm just going to show installing the device into the OBD2 port because I'm going to hide this somewhere where no one knows where it's at. And then the next step on the app here is to basically take a drive. So we'll just drive around real quick, come back, and talk about what the device is doing. So like I said, for the video, we're just going to go ahead and plug this into the OBD2 port without too much fuss. Come up underneath the dash here and plug it in right there. So that's what it would look like. Now, obviously, we're going to reroute this somewhere a little less obvious. That way people don't see it. But for the most part, that's it. We're done. Now at this point, we can start tracking the vehicle after we take a little drive.
1 hour later.
All right, so we just got back from our little test drive, and before we go into too much detail on what's happening here, I want to cover some key points of this particular device, because there's a lot that this device offers that I haven't covered yet. Now, the biggest things to note here are, of course, the notifications. This is what is going to really set this apart from even the AirTags, because anything that happens with this car, I'm going to be notified right on my cell phone. So the thing that no one seems to be able to live without nowadays, it's always in your pocket. This will be your form of notification. You're going to get notifications for the engine being started, the vehicle being moved, or like I said, vibrations. So if someone hits your vehicle, it's going to alert you. But the biggest one, it's going to alert you if someone disconnects this device. And of course, guys, the links for all these will be in the description down below. Again, it's security for your vehicles. You can never have too much. Anyway, let's show what this thing's all about, because like I said, the app is where all of the important functions of this device live. So let's see how this thing can protect your car. So that's just the alert from someone else starting their car. So you can see it says vibration detected. That's the kind of alert you're going to get immediately. I mean, you saw the second that car started, that alert was going off. And right there you can see just popped up. So one of the more important features of this particular CarLock security system is the fact that it will pick up on vibrations. So if you're at a car show, or you're parked somewhere for dinner, or you're at a movie or something, and someone bumps into this car, the stock alarm isn't really going to do anything, but this CarLock actually does. So let me show you what I mean. If I hit the window or make any kind of vibration to the car, that's what happens. So obviously I'm being alerted that there has been a vibration on the car. Now, that's a really awesome feature by itself, because this is all playing in conjunction with the other security features that we have. The vibration or impact alarm is really an awesome feature. But on top of all that stuff, let's go over what features are actually available in this CarLock application, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of stuff that this thing does. So just to show you again, this is the alarm that you will get if there is a vibration. Now, I've actually seen all the alarms you're going to get. On top of this, you'll get an alarm for any time that the car is moved. So if this is the resting spot of the car and I start it up and take it out, I'll get an alarm saying that the car's been moved. But one of the more important ones, I got to actually unlock the car for, because you'll actually get an alarm as well if someone removes the device from the OBD2 port. So here we go. We're going to come in here and actually remove the device. With that device out, we should get an alert. And sure enough, there it is. So, yeah, it's pretty quick too. Pretty quick to tell you that that thing has been removed. Now, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in, and once we get this thing all solidified, I'm also going to use my OBD2 port extender and kind of hide this up under the dash so it's not as easily visible. Now, obviously, if you were sharing this with your kids or something, you would let them know not to remove it, because you will be alerted, and at that point, they're in trouble. But at the end of the day, if you're using this for thieves, you want to hide this from them so they can't disconnect it as soon as they get in the car. All right, so what else can this app do? So this is what you're going to see when you open up the app. You're going to see your car and your address up at the top. I'm cutting that off on purpose so you don't see that here. But as you can see, it is showing a little lock symbol. Now, if I wanted to be able to drive this car and not have to worry about any of the noises for vibration or alerts that the car's been moved or anything, you would just, you guessed it, unlock it. So with that unlocked, now I would not get any of those alerts of the car being moved or anything like that. Now, if we go into the settings portion of this, you're going to actually see all of the information, and you can see I've been driving this car with this in there for 4.5 hours, 11 different trips. Average speed's 41. Top speed was 104. That was on the track, of course. And then the driving score. It will actually give you a driving score as well. Again, if you're sharing this with your kids or anything like that, this will kind of tell you how they've been driving. Now, it allows you to name the car up here as well. If you wanted to have more than one on this account, you could have more than one device. Like I will probably put one in my Z06 and in my TRX. So I'd be able to have two separate devices monitoring two separate things. In the settings, if we go to the log, you'll actually see a log of things that have happened recently. Again, I'm not going to show too far down because it is showing my home address. but it will actually show you all of the things that have happened recently. And actually, if I scroll down through here, it will literally show a lot, all the way back to when I first set the device up. So pretty cool there. Now again, we'll go to Smart Lock down here. You can actually set up different sensors here. So you can have it set to time lock, which is probably what I'll use in the future. And what this is going to do, if you hit manage on this, it will allow you to automatically enable the CarLock security feature 5 minutes after your car's engine is turned off. So that way you're not getting alerts while the car is running. It will automatically turn it on and off based on your car starting and your car shutting off. So that's pretty cool. That way you don't have to worry about those alerts, like I said. Or you can do it where it's a scheduler. It will automatically turn it on at a specific schedule, turn it off at a specific schedule. And you can also have it set up to monitor if your keys are moved. Now, this requires a special sensor, which I actually have here, and you would just put this on your keys itself, and that GPS sensor on the key works with the sensor in the car to alert you on your phone if the keys have been moved. So the car doesn't even have to get started. If your kid or something decided they wanted to steal your keys in the middle of the night, this would be alerted just because the keys moved. You can even add additional vibration sensors via Bluetooth to this device to make sure that all of the vibrations are covered, whether large or small. Now, if we go back and actually go down to the bottom here under settings, this is where we can really kind of start dialing stuff in. The top option here is what color you want the app to be. I have chosen red. That's what all this is up here, of course. The icon, and this is kind of interesting because I originally had it set on car, but I looked a little closer and the one labeled supercar looks a lot like a Corvette. How about that? So maybe it takes CarLock to tell us what a supercar is, because that looks a lot like a Corvette to me, guys. But anyway, I changed my icon to supercar. But moving down, we have the option for default trip tag, default map type, which I actually like to set to satellite. Kind of shows more of a satellite view to everything. You can go to personalized driving metrics. That's actually going to give you like more personalized information of your particular drive if you want. If you want more detailed backup notifications, you can actually have this app call you or text you if something's going down. Extended alarm duration, of course, I have that disabled, but if something were to happen in the middle of the night, I'm a pretty light sleeper, so it doesn't matter for me. But if you sleep heavy, you would want to maybe turn that on so you're more likely to hear that noise going off. Monitored circle size is just, of course, how tight the GPS is on you. I have mine set to the smallest possible. This is an interesting one here because it asks you if you have this on a trickle or a solar charger, because if you do, it could potentially mess with the car start alert. So if you did have that on, you would just turn that on right there. Signal loss, you can have that set to alert you if for some reason this thing goes out of the view of a GPS signal. Smart lock, I have that enabled. Of course, that's whenever you're getting in and out of the car, you can have it set to automatically lock or unlock whenever the car is started or shut off, which is pretty cool. Harsh driving, this would be something, again, if you have kids or, I don't know, maybe a wife that drives kind of crazy. This is going to alert you to their driving methods, and maybe you want to know that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But it's there. And then, of course, at the bottom, you can mute all of the notifications and not worry about it. Trip tracking. So this is one, again, for kids and stuff like that, where it will literally tell you where this car has been. I have it on just because if for some reason this was stolen, I'd be able to see what route they're taking, where they're stopping, all that kind of stuff. So all really cool options here. And then, of course, even under your profile here, you're going to see all of your information. So obviously my email is the Horsepower Obsessed up there. I have it set up under a Chevrolet Corvette. You can change the profile icon here, all that good stuff. That's pretty much what this unit is. It's an OBD2 port that allows finer GPS tracking, vibration monitoring, which is really awesome. Like I said, the car itself doesn't even do that. So if someone hits you or something, it's going to alert you of it and what time it happened, and even what location you were at when it happened. It will notify you if you remove the device. You can hide it with the included OBD2 port extender. And yeah, that's just one additional version of security for these cars. So like I said, at this point, I have 3 air tags in this car. The solar performance throttle controller that I can disable the gas pedal with. I put my key in the Hyperion RFID blocking pouch overnight. And now this device. It's going to be very difficult for somebody to take this car. Huge thumbs up to CarLock for developing such an awesome application and something that's really easy to use. And with that application on your phone, you're always going to be monitored of something going awry with your cars. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, smash the thumbs up button. Check the link in the description down below to get one of these and save some money on it. They're really not very expensive to begin with, but you can save a couple bucks on it just for using the link in the description down below. And make sure that your car is fully protected from thievery. We don't want these things getting stolen, of course. And this is just one extra step to make sure your car stays yours. Subscribe if you haven't yet, guys, and as always, stay obsessed.